Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, welcome to Bloom in Love. Here at Bloom in Love, we discuss all things personal development and life in general. Honestly, today I don't even know what we'll be talking about because um I just got back in. I've been out all day running some work errands and I got back to the house. I committed some few videos ago. I last week I committed to showing up fully in my purpose, which is coming out here to share what the things I've learned recently in the last few years in the journey of my spiritual awakening, and how I know that sharing these things will help other people. I've been really playing it safe in the last over a year that I started YouTube, but last week or 2 weeks ago I decided to play full out. I decided to show up. I Something just came to me and was like, what if I showed up every day for the next 6 months? Like, to play this game, what could happen? So I decided to commit. So it's like CCIA, committed, consistent, committed, or committed, consistent. Guys, I cannot remember. I'll put it on the screen. But basically, because I have committed to filming videos every day, so I said I'll just every day turn on my camera and just whatever comes. And I came back today. My head was telling me not to not to just look. My head was trying to come up with an excuse for me not to film, but I'm committed to this. And I sat down for a bit and I was like, okay, what do I talk about today? And I was just like, you know what, I'll just come here and rant. I'll just come here and rant how the last few days has been for me, especially Father's Day. So Father's Day was just, I actually honestly wanted, today is Wednesday, I wanted to film a something relating to this Father's Day on Monday, but work had its own mind of its own, so I couldn't do that. And yeah, I think this would be a great time to do something like that. So Father's Day, I lost my dad about 5 years ago, 2019. And prior to my dad's death, I was a daddy's girl. So I'm the last child of my parents, and I'm daddy's little girl. I'm spoiled. Like, my dad is like my hero, and losing my dad hasn't been easy for me. And most times, I think the last 5 years that he has died, I feel like I have only celebrated Father's Day. Not like celebrated, like that, wishing people around you, your dad, that spirit of celebrating. I think I've only done that twice in the last 5 years that my dad died. And this year, which on Sunday, I honestly wasn't in the mood. I wasn't in the mood. I I would say I'm still hung on my dad's death. I think I have processed that emotion, and I know I have an idea of what death is. Death is not the end, death is just the beginning. And yes, there might be a veil separating I and my dad, but I know that my dad is always watching over me. And I know right now, even as I do this, is somewhere around here just sharing me on, right? But I guess one of the reasons why I haven't really been celebrating Father's Day was um when my dad died, I really didn't process the emotion well. I used to be a softie. I'm still a softie, but I used to be really, really soft emotionally. I cry if I'm happy, I cry. If I'm sad, I cry. If there has to be a confrontation between me and someone else, I express myself through tears. I'm always crying. And I remember my friends will always tell me, why are you always crying? Why are you always crying? Right? So prior to that, I used to cry a lot. And then my dad died, and it was like the door seized. I could not cry. I didn't cry for, I thought, whenever that used to come to my mind before my dad died, I was like, in fact, I couldn't even think about it because I felt like I'll be a wreck. But my dad died and I just couldn't cry. I think I didn't cry for a few years, and holding on to that emotion, holding on to that made me go through depression for 3 years. I was depressed and suicidal for 3 years, and I almost, got myself out of here. But thank God I'm still here. And yeah, I remember when I came to the end of myself, I was depressed for 3 years. When I came to the end of myself, I think that was the first time I was really able to go there and started digging up the emotions, and I was processing them one after the other. So right now I am totally fine with my dad's death. I miss him. I wish he was still alive so that I could see him, touch him, speak to him. But it has happened, and yeah, so I know he has transitioned to the other side to be my guide and my angel. So I'm still grateful that I still get to have that, and I know someday we'll see again, even if it's not in this realm, even if it's not in the body, we'll see again. So right, that's the hope I always move with. But all the while that I was depressed, that I couldn't process my dad's death, I think I later found out when I started my healing journey in the spiritual awakening. I found out that my dad's last word to me that I remember, that wasn't like his last word before he died. So the last time we spoke, so before my dad died, I had moved from my family stays in a different state, and I moved to the state where I am right now. So I really don't see my family that much. I think the last time I even saw my family now is almost 5 years ago, which was when we went to lay my dad to rest, right? So I really don't travel home that much to see family. So I think before my dad died, I had not seen him for about a year plus. We talk on the phone, and the last thing that my dad said to me that I can remember up until today was, "Don't disappoint me." And it's not from a malicious place. So at the time, I was trying to relocate and leave the country, and I went to meet him to tell him my plans, and he offered to support me financially and otherwise. And he knew that this is something I've always wanted, but for some reason they never allowed me. But this time when I went to see him, I guess he saw that, okay, this child of mine has been living by herself for the past 2 years in a state that is far, far, far from where we are. She has been doing very well. So her moving to another country won't really be as bad as I thought. So he actually agreed. He supported me financially, and we were having a talk. And in that talk, he told me, "Don't disappoint me." And I felt like after my dad died, my life was like going through that downward spiral, and it felt like every day I felt like I was disappointing him. So I think that was one of the reasons why I couldn't process his death and everything. And then when he died, when after I died and Father's Day started coming up, I think that was always playing behind my mind, where I feel like, okay, what I'm doing right now, is my dad proud of me? Am I doing what he would approve of? But I've come to a place, not even come to a place, um I have reasons to believe that my dad is actually proud of me. I know he has transitioned, and he sees what I do now. He sees all that I'm doing right now, and he's so proud of me. So Father's Day on Sunday, which is 3 days ago, it was kind of like I was like, okay, I was kind of in between. Sometimes I'll find myself feeling indifferent about it. I love my dad, but like, yeah, it's just another day. And then there's another part of me that just wants to dive into the emotions of that day. But I kept just, and then up until I think 5 p.m. that day, and I think 5, 6, 7 p.m. that day, and I just went on because I didn't want one way I could process it was maybe journal about it, sit down quietly, but I didn't want it because that's what I've been doing for the past 5 years. I wanted to do something that, like, yeah, if my dad was alive, I would have put out the post, I would have called him, just like a bit of celebration, right? So I was like, okay, I will do something like just to honor him. And then I went on Facebook to make a post. Before this, like I said, it was really a very heavy day for me emotionally. I just couldn't process my emotions. I knew I was feeling very, very unsettled, but I couldn't pinpoint what was the issue. But I noticed myself feeling very unsettled, anxiety. I was having a bit of panic attack. I was having a lot of anxiety. I tried everything I could. I would take breath, I would sit down, I'll just observe the emotion. So throughout this day, throughout the day, like I woke up and I was feeling really heavy emotionally. I was having like panic attacks. I was having a lot of heavy, feeling a lot of heavy emotions, but I just couldn't pinpoint what it is. I tried to do everything. That I took deep breaths. I tried to observe, but I just noticed that I was just heavy inside of me. And I think towards in the evening, about 5 6 p.m., chose to. I went on Facebook and I made like a post about Father's Day. It was just like a mini letter to my dad, and yeah. And I noticed after doing that, I started feeling. I felt so good. I felt that heaviness just lift off of me, and it just made sense. Like I just understood what needed to happen. I understood that emotions needed to be moved. I'm someone that likes to keep my business kind of, except when I'm over here on YouTube talking about these things. I'm someone that I like to keep my business most times to myself. So usually if I would need to process stuff like this, I would try to do it by myself. Either maybe I journal or just sit somewhere and process the emotions. But I knew that that was what I've been doing in the last few that's what I've been doing in the last few years. And yeah. So I decided that, okay, you know what, I was just going to make like a public thing. I was just going to like put my emotions in public. So after writing as I was writing that letter, I noticed that I became emotional. Like I had to cry a bit, and it's okay to cry. I think I think that was like the first line of the letter that I wrote. I was like, dear dad, I miss you a lot, and it's okay. So it's okay to miss. Yeah, my goal for doing this video is my goal for choosing to talk about this is I want to encourage those people. I know there are a lot of people who've lost their dad, mom, sibling, loved one, and it's hard processing it right now. Grief is hard. It's not a walk in the park. It's hard. Yeah, it might take a lot of people like a short time to go through it. Some it takes people years to move through grief, and it's okay to take as much time as you want to grieve. The only thing I'll say is in whatever you choose to do, please don't harm yourself. So however you want to express grief, however if you want to cry, please cry. Don't let anyone tell you don't cry. If you want to cry, please cry. If you want to punch into a pillow, please do that. If you want to scream out your lungs, please do that. But you need to allow the emotion flow. That was what the lesson that became even more clear to me on Sunday, that you need to allow the emotions flow. Because what I have been doing, I know that yes, my my spirit knows that, oh, my dad is somewhere. Yes, I might not see him in person right now. I might not see him physically, but I know he's somewhere, and I know he's here right now, even listening and watching me do this. But I just can't see him. I know it's just a matter of time. This veil that is in between us will be dropped soon. But then again, I would allow, it's not this or that, it's this and that. Yes, my spirit knows that, I know that that is the spiritual reality of it, but my my physical body, my mind misses him. Like it's hard. I was a daddy's girl, and not having a father figure in my life in the past 5 years has been really hard, really hard for me. But I've been trying to be strong. I've been trying to be strong when, excuse me, when my physical mind, or when my emotions want to go through that, when emotionally I start feeling that void, I tend to always like to like tell myself that no, it's fine. You understand what's happening. It's just death is not the end. It's just the beginning. It's okay. Yes, I can know that and also allow myself feel the emotions whenever they come. So I'm hoping this video would go out to those people who are grieving one person or the other in their life. Tell them that it's okay to grieve. It's okay if you feel like you just want to take a break and mourn. It's okay. Take as much time as you want, because like I always say on this channel, energy, our emotion is energy that is in motion is meant to flow. The reason why when my dad died, I had a lot of medical conditions. I had a lot of medical conditions just come up for me. I don't know if you guys can see it. That same period, I just noticed my hair turning gray. At that time, I was grieving. I had like the emotions were just stuck inside of me. I was not expressing them. It was just stuck inside of me, and it was doing so many things to my system, right? So emotion is meant to flow. If it doesn't flow, it will be stuck somewhere. And when it's stuck somewhere, it turns out becoming illness or something. You can Google it. It's scientifically proven, right? So I'm doing this video to encourage you that if you are going through anything, it must not even be grief. Like, you just need to move through any emotions. This is like your green light to say, please help yourself to however you like, express yourself however you want to. Don't harm yourself, don't harm other people, but please allow the emotion just flow. So that was the reason I don't know if I actually had a reason doing this, but I know the reason I sat here is because I've made a commitment to come here to film a video every day, consistently, imperfectly, the next, however imperfect it is, for the next 6 months. And yeah, so if you stayed up until now listening to me just rant, maybe it's time for you to join this family. Just click join the family and subscribe, like, drop comments if there's anything you'd, I don't even mind like someone just giving me reflections right now. If you feel like, okay, you want to reflect this to me, I'm happy, I'm open to receive it. So um share your comments. If you have questions, please ask me. If you have like maybe question on, maybe not relating to this, any other area that you want my unique perspective on, I'm happy to do a video to respond to it. So just drop the question in the comments. I'm 100% here to respond to it. I actually thought that I would come and just talk about something about manifestation, but we'll do manifestation tomorrow. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay to be this. It's okay to sometimes just take a break and just allow yourself feel. It's okay to feel. It's okay to, yeah. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Until my next video tomorrow. Catch you. I love you guys so much. Funny, I couldn't film on Monday. I couldn't film on Sunday. I couldn't film on Monday. Sunday I couldn't film because of what I was feeling. On Mondays, work. Monday yesterday, work, and I couldn't film. And I was also going to allow myself use that as an excuse again today, but I was like, no. I made a commitment to film every day for the next 6 months, and I'm keeping up to it, however imperfect it is. I will be doing this CCIA, committed, consistent, imperfect actions every day. Just trying to be better, 1% better than, just trying to be 1% better than the last day. So yeah, if you feel like what I'm doing inspires you, please join the family. Let's do this together. Let's bloom together. I love you guys so much. So until my next video, bye. I love you so much.